You do look, don't you do look?
Oh, right, yeah.
That's what I was waiting for.
Look.
Listen. And welcome, gamers and goofers, to episode 6 of Look, Listen with Geese and Gyera. I'm Geese.
And this has been a hectic morning for Guyer. I've woke up, I'll tell you. I got all excited because our last podcast went live, and I went, oh, let me go and listen to it. Look, it's on Apple Podcasts. Geese, what happens when I press play?
I don't know.
It just plays last week's episode. And I go, what is going on? But then our boy Big Easy saved the day. He was like, no, it's fine on my end. It's definitely playing episode 5. This is episode 6 of Look, Listen with Geese and Gyera. Very hectic morning. Important phone calls, spicy poops, terrible.
Yeah, I was going to say the spicy poops.
Geese, I'm barely holding it together. So you're going to have to really carry this one.
Okay.
And watching the episodes last night, I was interrupted through most of them. So you got to be like, you missed an entire scene. No, that's not that.
No, because I was only half paying attention to some of them.
Geese! Oh
okay,
my!
I paid mostly attention to them.
All right, guys. This is going to be one for the books here.
This is a rowdy one, guys.
This is going to be one. Well, hold on.
Sip my beer.
What? Sip her beverage.
I'm 25. It's legal. Guyer is sipping his cold brew from Starbucks.
Fun fact. Actually, this is a blonde veranda blend with 7 shots of blonde espresso.
Oh my goodness! Wait, isn't like the lighter the roast, like more caffeine in it?
Yes.
Gyera, how does that like not give you like heart palpitations?
It's not like I'm drinking it all at once. Like I already drank 3 of the shots, so there's only like 3.5 left or something.
Oh my goodness! Wow. My headphone came out. Hold on.
Yeah, my headphone, one of them wasn't even working.
Yeah, one of mine doesn't work.
Can you imagine just you turn something on and everything just works perfectly and everybody's having a great time and you don't have to worry about anything? Could you imagine a life like that?
That sounds nice.
Good Lord. Good Christ.
Okay. So, shall we begin with what we're watching, playing, eating, listening to, and other shenanigans?
That could very well be some people's favorite part of the show.
It's my favorite part of the show.
Okay, guys. So big announcement we're making. Big announcement we're making. We're no longer going to talk about Pokemon. It's just going to be 15 minutes of what we watched that day.
Gyera, honestly, that would be a good podcast.
In and out, one and done. Let me edit it in 45 seconds. Good to go. Actually, no edits. You get it raw. Okay.
Guard podcast.
Getting cut out.
No.
Geese.
Gyera, it's fine. The kids don't know what that means.
You take one sip of Corona and now you're losing it.
Also, I forgot to mention this. So for the folks at home, I'm recording at my sister and brother-in-law's house because I don't want my parents to know I have a podcast. And as soon as I got here, my allergies really started to kick in. And so I only had cold medicine, and so I took that, and then after I realized it's the sleepy time cold medicine, so
Geese!
And I'm drinking a beer, so let's find
Oh no! We have such a small amount of time before Geese falls asleep on the podcast.
It adds good tension.
Attention.
For the podcast.
Okay, Geese, ask me which topic of conversation I should talk regarding the eating, playing, watching.
Talk about International French Fry Day to begin with.
Geese, it was International French Fry Day, and I tell you, I ate more Dongles French fries than any human being should. I ate so many because Geese for International French Fry Day. Geese, it was 100% free. I'm not talking with purchase of something. I'm not talking $1 large fry. I'm talking it's 100% free, no purchase required. Geese, I ate fries there. I brought fries home. I put fries in a bag. I squeezed them like Dan does. That I was the only other person in the world to do. Geese, it was Friday. I posted in Friday. I mean, hashtag food channel.
What was I doing Friday?
I don't know.
I think I was at my grandma's house.
Way to go, Grandma. And then in the other food stuff, I also ate a big old coco chibana. Somehow too much food. I figured out a new way to make it cheaper, sorta, because it's only $1.50 to get on a naan, and then you can get the cheese fries, the baked keema chili cheese fries. It's sort of like chili cheese. It's chicken, but whatever. It's an Indian kind of food. It's sort of like chili. You get it for like $5. But a naan pizza is like $6 on its own. So you just take all the stuff, put it in the curry or in the naan, and you combine it, and it's super good, and it's cheaper, and it's delicious. And Geese, guess what else I ate?
I'm looking here, and it says the curvy drink at Kung Fu Tea.
That is a fantastic guess, Geese, and that was popular on like social medias.
How does that
mine
taste?
was not very pink though, but it was very much
I
too
saw
sweet.
that.
I do not recommend it.
Yeah, because like I wanted to get it because like I live near a Kung Fu Tea, but like I was trying to like search to see if like that store had it, and I couldn't figure it out. But when I was doing some research, I found out that you can apply to become a Kung Fu Tea ambassador. But I think you need
just
like
post about them.
Basically, I think you need like a couple thousand followers on like Instagram.
Oh, you got that easy.
Also, the Kung Fu Tea in my town is like in the same building as like this like Taiwanese fast food place. It's called like TKK or something. Have you heard of this?
I have not heard of TKK. Also, I'm not familiar with Taiwanese food at all.
It looks good. I'm going to send you a link.
Send in links. Also, I got some cold brew from Starbo, and then they just made it twice. So I got double nitro cold brew, which was sick and fun in my, which I believe I mentioned already, personal cup, because we get 25 stars every time you use your personal cup. So I'm just drowning in free coffee.
Okay, I sent you the link.
Sick. On to video games. I've been playing The Messenger, which came out years ago, but that game is so very good. Everybody, please play that game. It's free on PlayStation Plus Extra, I believe is the tier, because there's PlayStation Plus Essential, and then I think it's Extra and then Premium. So if you have Extra or Premium, you get The Messenger. So good. And it's on everything, so you don't have to play it on PlayStation. And that new game Stray about the kitty cat, that's coming to PlayStation Plus Extra very soon, like a couple days.
I remember seeing that like game first shown in like E3 like 2017.
I don't remember it that long ago, but yeah, it was announced a little bit ago. It's July 15th as of recording. I think it comes out like in a couple days or something. Something like that. Messenger's super good. By now, you've probably had it spoiled, like what it is.
I have no idea what it's about or what kind of game it is.
I won't tell you then. It's
okay.
It's more than meets the eye, much like Transformers. I would say that. Okay, on to my shows. I'm just
looking at this chicken. Sorry, I'm just looking at this chicken link I sent you, and the chicken looks so good.
Oh my god, Geese, let me go back to the chicken link.
If anyone's been here, let me know if it's good.
Where did you send the link?
I sent it in this recording software we're using.
Oh. I hope nothing bad happens if I click this. It doesn't stop the recording. Oh yeah, I've never heard of this place. Reminds me of Jollibee though.
Yeah.
Or some like Korean chicken places I've seen.
Man, I live in a town where it's like 30% Korean population, and the food is so good. Have you ever had banchan?
What?
Have you ever had banchan?
Yep, I've eaten there.
I love banchan.
I feel like we discussed that before. I actually had a pretty bad experience in banchan, but that wasn't here. It was in Texas. But no, Geese, you don't have to feel bad because I work in Koreatown. It's the largest percentage of Koreans outside of like Asia. I've got so much good Korean food. And hear me. Okay, shows and movies. I finished Ms. Marvel. It's good, and I was crying during it. which isn't saying much because I cry during everything now. And I heard Geese say something, but she's a little bird because of her little mic, so I didn't actually hear what she said.
Sorry. I have seen all of it except for the last episode. I like it. I found like the point where like I'm up to like I didn't really like the second to last episode.
I've heard a lot of people like, oh, they like this episode but not that episode. I thought they were all fun.
Yeah, they were all fun. Like, I don't know. Like, they're good.
Maybe the second episode I remember being like the weakest, maybe. But that show has so much more style than a lot of the Marvel shows. Like, it completely blows what's the name of the show, Captain Falcon Winter Soldier, that blows that one out of the water. I think it is better than Moon Knight.
I didn't see Moon Knight.
I would say don't even bother. It's not good. It's probably not as good as WandaVision, but it just has tons of style, which is nice. And good music, too. And then I was recommended a film called Diviseros. I don't know if you want to hear about that one. It is about people in Munich during World War II. And they're really trying to tell people that what the government is doing is bad, and it doesn't turn out great for them, these students. Very, very sad film. On
a totally different tone, Marcel the Shell with shoes on.
Oh my God, Geese! It's the cutest movie I've ever seen in my life.
I remember being in the 8th grade and watching those videos, or the one video. I can't remember how many there were at that point, and I really liked it. I want to see this movie.
You need to run, not walk, to the theater and watch Marcel the Shell with shoes on, because you are going to have a wonderful time. It's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. It's every second is more adorable than the last. Just prepare your heartstrings. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. It's such a wonderful experience. I also saw Thor: Love and Thunder. Again, it doesn't really even matter what I think about these Marvel shows because they've got me locked in with the canon, so I have to watch absolutely everything. I can't miss anything. I thought it was fine.
Kevin Feige has got Gyra on his little leash.
God, that sounds something, but yes. And then also whatever was written on the last thing there. Oh, Better Call Saul. Oh my God, that's a good show.
Is that streaming on like AMC or something?
You can make a free account, but yeah, it's AMC Plus is their app. If you have television like a boomer, you can watch it on there too. I bet Aaron has television.
No, he doesn't.
I bet he does. I bet he keeps it a secret from you. He's got a little cable box hidden in a damn closet. Please tweet at PROF_tickle_bits and tell him we know about your cable box, you old man.
And I do #boomer.
#boomer. #justice for Rowlett. All right. That's my segment of watch and play and eat and listening. What about Geese?
So, in terms of eating, I made this chicken tortellini soup in the Instant Pot. It's known as like the soup on like Reddit or something. I don't know. Aaron was explaining this to me, but regardless, I made it. And it was really good, despite the fact that I forgot to put chicken stock in halfway through, which is, pretty essential part of a soup.
Just throw some bones in there. You're good to go. Geese, I was sorry to interrupt, but I was at Taco Bell last night and I ordered nachos Bel Grande, the big old nachos. And then halfway through making my order, they come up to me and they're like, oh, we don't have any nacho cheese. So that's like soup without a stock.
So yeah, it was good. I really liked it. I feel like it'd be better if it was like, if I did the slow cook version, but that Instant Pot, it's pretty fast.
If it's got the word instant right in its name, you would hope so.
There you go. And then in other news, I got a new phone. I got the Pixel 6 Pro on sale for the Amazon Prime Day deal. So it's like $200 off. It's
came in already?
Yeah.
Sick. I'm looking at the phone now. She's not lying.
Yeah, it's good. I hate buying phones because like they have such a short lifespan to like money ratio.
Lifespan to yeah. Well, I mean, you could sell it.
No, I'm gonna use it. I need a new phone because I've only bought.
No, I mean when you're done with it, when you want to get a new phone, you can sell the old one.
That's true. I've only bought. This will be my third phone I've bought in the lifespan of me. What's the word I want to say?
The lifespan of you, your whole life.
Yeah, I've only bought 3. What?
Keep talking about your phone. I need to get more water.
That sounds great. So yeah, so I. Okay, yeah. So I bought when I was like in the 6th grade. I bought a Samsung Eternity, which was like a pre-smartphone touchscreen phone. Like it didn't have Wi-Fi, and that sucker lasted me until freshman year of college. And then I used my sister's old iPhone 4, and then I bought a new phone, the Samsung S6, and that lasted me like 4 years. I don't like buying things. I'm used to buying things that are expensive that'll last me long. Phones nowadays are not designed to last.
All right, I'm back. What did I miss? Go ahead and say it all over again.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, phones are too expensive. The batteries go down too quick. But you can sell them when you're ready for your next one because somebody wants your old phone and maybe somebody can go in there and change out the battery or something. Geese, I dropped the lid of my water again, and it's all because I'm using a straw that's too short because the straw that's long enough broke because it's not plastic, so it breaks all the time. And my life is very difficult.
It seems like it. I'm going to talk about shows now, Gyra.
Moving on to shows.
Hold on, let me burp.
Gotta do a burp.
Okay.
We need a soundboard. So that way we just press it and it goes talking about shows or, just watching, playing, and eating. So we just know when to move on to the next thing.
So I don't watch a lot of shows, to be honest. Something I forgot to talk about last time was I watched the first season of Only Murders in the Building with my sister. And that was a good show. I like that. Do you know about the show,
Quite an interesting cast, right, in that show?
Yeah, Martin Short, Steve Martin.
Giving him his full government name. Stephen Martin.
It was good. I liked it. I know the second season came out like last week or this week or something, and I'm just waiting for my sister to come home so we can binge it.
So she can binge it. Oh god, it's probably so annoying. Hey, at least we like it.
Yeah.
At least we're having fun. You got a problem with us having fun? Adversarial relationship. It's hot in there?
Yeah, it's really hot in here. Even though
Turn on the
basement.
fan, Geese.
There's no fan.
Turn on the little fan.
There's no little fan. I'm in my sister's office. There's no fans.
Your sister doesn't have a fan in another room you can bring in?
No.
Not next to the X-Files poster?
Oh, yeah. You see that?
Yes.
Yeah. When I was a kid, my sister is 6 years older than me. She watched X-Files when I was in like elementary school, and I watched with her. And that show really scared me, and like I couldn't sleep because I was so afraid of aliens.
It's a
for,
spooky
my
show.
Entire middle school. Yeah.
I used to be 8 years old watching X-Files, getting super spooked.
Yeah, I actually started watching it again. Like, it's a good like in the background show. I started watching it again with like Aaron. But
X-Files is one of the few shows where, when I was watching through it, this was years and years ago. Like 10 years ago more. Before I would watch an episode, I would always read the full episode description just so I knew what was gonna. So it would be more of a background thing and you can still follow it because you know what's happening.
Yeah, that makes sense. What else? Oh, speaking of McDonald's, I saw that like they're doing like merch drops or something.
They are. You would certainly think that I would be following that more, but if I'm going to Dongles, I pretty much am just real quick placing the order and not paying attention to the little weird things they got going on in the app in terms of buying merch. I have some McDonald's merch, but not a Grimace shirt.
I want that Grimace shirt. But yeah, that's about it.
Did you want to talk about playing Grand Theft Auto 5 or you want to move on to...
Oh, shoot. I forgot about that. I'll just talk about it briefly. So yeah, I've just been playing Grand Theft Auto 5 and stealing cars, and that's about it.
Sit
On
on
so hot in
to
here.
Sunflora?
What?
What'd you say?
I said it's so hot in here.
No, Geese. Put up, get an ice pack or something.
I'm gonna stand and podcast.
Oh my god. How's that gonna cool you down?
I don't know.
You're insane. Okay.
I guess I'll sit.
Poking news of the week. It's actually quite a big Geese. There must be a solution. There must be some fans or something somewhere.
Let me hold on. You do the Poke news, and I'll look for a fan.
Geese is going to get some ice or something. In Poke news of the week, it's big time leak season, so you better be careful out there. You better pay attention and start muting words if you're afraid of seeing spoilers for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because we have a lot of new leaks. We know all the gym leaders now. Well, I don't think we know what their names, but we have blurry pictures of each of them. We've also seen some new Pokemon, maybe some new forms or regional variations or evolutions. Who's to say? Yeah, if you want to check those out, I mean, honestly, you could just find it very easily by going on Twitter and searching for Pokemon Scarlet Violet leaks. There's a couple leak accounts. Can't necessarily recommend them because they're, what's the word? Like shady or something. There's a lot of drama behind these Pokemon leaker accounts. And I don't care about any of that at all. I just am there to see the Pokemon because I need to know my team ahead of time. I know some people just want to experience it fresh and brand new right as it comes out, which I can understand. But that's just not me. I got to know exactly what my team's going to be. And I got to know the second, like the very first place I can catch that poke. So I have a trajectory already set out. Although Scarlet and Violet's like open world, so who knows what I'm going to do? Because I could go anywhere, fight the gyms in any order. That's a spoiler, maybe. So I could get my team who knows how. Who knows who I'm getting first? Not me.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Sorry, let me just catch my breath.
Catch that bread.
I gotta catch that bread. Okay, so as we've talked about in last episode, I believe, there are Oricorios. And they already have like a Flamengo style.
Flamenco?
So do you think there'll be like another Oricorio variant in the game?
That would make sense. Probably the most likely thing would be either a new variant or maybe in this region. I think we know the region's name. I think that's been leaked, but I don't recall it off the top of my head. So let's just say this new region based on the Iberian Peninsula of Spain and Portugal, right? Is that right, Geese?
Yes, that's correct.
Geography check with Geese. It could be a possibility that only the flamenco.
So like only the red nectar.
Could be. It would kind of make a little bit of sense.
Also, next question I have. I'm a big fan of Smoliv. I just discovered him, and I'm a really big fan. Is Smoliv like a variant of like, was it Cedo or
Cedo?
Badoo?
No, he's a new poke. Smoliv's a new Pokemon.
He looks a bit like Badoo.
Well, they've got almost 1,000 of them now, so they're going to start looking similar.
Yeah, also, like, I was looking at plushies on the Pokemon website, and I do not recognize most of these Pokemon. But please tell me, who is Sunflora?
He's from Gen 2. That's an early Pokemon. He evolves from Sunkern, the little kernel. He's a big old sunflower.
Oh.
He evolves via Sunstone. Oh my God,
makes
Geese.
Sense.
That was one of
so
my...
So, like, the Oddish in, like...
Yeah, Oddish Gloom evolves into Blossom with a Sunstone, and then a Leaf Stone into Vileplume. But that was one of my most terrible experiences in Pokemon Go is I found a shiny Sunkern, and I was so excited to catch it. But when I'm using my Pokeball, right? So this automatically catches Pokemon, but it's not guaranteed. So if there's a Pokemon near me and I press the button, it throws one Pokeball. And then it will decide, did you catch it or did you not catch it? And so I'm looking at my phone, and I'm tapping my thing, and I see a Sunkern. I click on it, and it's a shiny sunker, and I go, oh, sick! And I go to catch it, and it immediately runs away because the dumb Pokeball already decided that I did not catch it. So it was heartbreaking. Heartbreaking, Geese!
That is heartbreaking. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'll get another shiny Sunkern one of these days. Actually, I think I already have another shiny Sunkern. It's okay. Still very traumatic, though.
Okay. So since we are releasing episode 5 today, we don't have emails about if people want Reporter Geese Beep or not.
Right, because they've only heard that episode for 30 minutes or whatever. Or however long it's been. So we're going to have to assume they all said yes. We do have a question this week, but it's not about Reporter Geese.
So should I do it or not?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I feel like it's not funny, but okay. Hold on. Let me get ready.
It may be funnier if you think. I love making myself laugh. Just thinking, it just gets so meta. If you start thinking about it, it gets funnier. If you think it's not funny. You're just doing it out of duress.
I don't think it's funny. I am doing it in duress. Okay, hold on.
Hi, I'm Geese Beep.
Hi, I'm Geese Beep, reporting live. The weather today in Scottsdale, Arizona is 98 degrees. Oh my. And 30% humidity and 0% precipitation with winds of 6 miles per hour. Tomorrow it's gonna be 111 degrees, and on Saturday it's gonna be 115 degrees. It's a hot one. Back to you.
Perfect. I like how nervous Reporter Geese Beep was this week. Normally she's got so much confidence, and this time she's about to just absolutely die.
That's how like a middle schooler would report.
Yeah, 100%. Okay.
Also, that's Geese. Hot. Guys, if you're in Scottsdale, get out. Have you ever been to Scottsdale?
I doubt. Do you have to drive through Arizona to get to Nevada?
I don't know.
Sick geography.
I went to Scottsdale. It's very nice, and it should be like, it's like higher up, so it shouldn't be this. Oh wait, Scottsdale.
I may be thinking New Mexico.
Scottsdale, if I believe correctly, is like a nice town and like a really nice, expensive place to live in Arizona.
I like that phrase. If I believe correctly. Never heard that before. Geese, we should probably jump into the darn plot of the show because we were delayed an hour. Maybe, maybe one of these days everything's just going to be smooth. Maybe.
Who's to say?
You got to believe. Geese, since we forgot to do it before, I need you to let the Clambos know what is the name of episode 16.
I didn't look it up.
Time to pull up the episodes.
Wikipedia.
My lid for my water keeps falling off because the straw's too small. To reiterate, if you're just now joining the podcast somehow, as if this is on some sort of live loop, you are in for a treat because evidently both of us were only half paying attention to these episodes. So you're going to get a heck of a
Honestly, I think that's
retelling.
The best way to do it.
Heck of a retail. We may be saying stuff that's not even true.
And you know what? Who's to correct us?
Not you better not. Send all
you better not.
Aaron corrections to at PROF_tickle_bits and say that's not what happened. You lying old man.
Justice for Rowlett.
Justice for Rowlett.
Okay, so this episode 16 in English, it's titled "They May Not Be Giants."
That's just a pun off the band They May Be Giants? They might be giants?
I think it's a pun off of where that band's name is from, which is Don Quixote.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with Don Quixote.
But I don't know.
Evidently not too much, though, because I didn't know that was from them. Is that like a quote from the story?
Yeah, because it's when like there's the windmills and what's his face name thinks they're giants.
Very sick. As Geese said, I don't understand how this title fits with this episode at all.
So maybe we're going to... The English translation of the episode in Japanese is 3 little Pokemon, 1 big adventure.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Look, I don't know.
Look. Here's the plot.
Okay.
Mallow, Ash, and Lana. Geese, I'll tell you right now, when I was watching, I forgot Lana's name, so I just wrote Blue Girl. And I'll tell you, I was losing my mind laughing because there's a later scene in one of these 3 episodes where Jessie is describing the Pokemon in front of her. And she's like, oh, there's that. They go, there's those Bratz kids. And that blue Bratz kid Pokemon too. They just call her the Blue Girl too, which is what we called them in the beginning. Just Blue Girl, Green Girl, Yellow Boy, because they're all just the color. Red Man, Red Boy, because they're all just the colors of their types. It's easy for kids to...
convenient.
They're at the beach, Geese.
Beach.
We got beach. We got Popplio practicing his big old balloon bubbles, and he's getting real good at it. Rodom thinks that the bubbles are also very good. He compliments with actual statistics. Popplio has come so far, Geese. The problem is, if humans get in the bubbles, the bubbles will still burst. So how about we try the Pokemon out? So the Pokemon try to get in Popplio's big old bubbles, but then Bonsuit sneezes, and that wakes up Rowlet, and then we get into this big kerfuffle. Because Rowlet goes to attack Bonsuit, and that bumps them into Popplio, and they get into the bubble. It ends up that Popplio and Rowlet are in Popplio's bubble, flying into the air. They can't escape the bubble. There's good faces here, though, Geese.
A lot of good faces.
Geese can attest to that. The bubble's going up into the air, flying to the stratosphere. And we just see Popplio and Rowlet going in circles, bouncing around. The kids start running after him. Lana grabs Ash's hand. Lana's voice is very cute in Japanese. Mallow sprints after the kids. She's got Ash's backpack because Ash left his backpack. Who knew that was going to keep coming up? Ash leaving his backpack. The balloon's flying like all over these mountains. Geese.
Yeah.
And in the bubble, Rowlet catches Popplio a few times, but then they keeps dropping him and they keep bouncing around the bubble.
It's like they doubled the animation budget for this episode. It is incredibly well animated. Great faces, great movement animations. This is
I think they took the budget from episode 18 because there's something in episode 18 where they just reuse the animation over and over again.
Yeah. I was watching with Aaron and we both mentioned that.
Whereas 16, it's unbelievable. I think 17 too had really good
17
animation sequences.
Anyway, they're trying to escape this bubble. They're floating around the mountains.
They have a whole conversation in the bubble. And they have little text boxes. Well, it's not text, it's image boxes where they're trying to describe whatever's going on with them or what they need to do. Eventually Rowlet pecks open that bubble, and then they go into a free fall, and they're skydiving. And this does look very expensive animation-wise. And I'm pretty sure Popplio thinks he's going to die.
Yeah. I like how Rowlet goes to grab Popplio while they're falling, but instead of grabbing with his talons, he grabs with his wings. And then Popplio, you see a little bubble, and it's basically Popplio calling Rowlet an idiot for not using his flying ability.
Yeah, Popplio's why are you using your wings to hold me in the air? You've got those strong little talons. Then we cut to Team Rocket. They're putting together their secret base. They got this big giant satellite dish. And then what comes careening through the air? It's Popplio and Rowlet, and they just slam right into the satellite and just absolutely destroy it.
Yeah. And in the process, when Rowlet hits a satellite, he gets a ring stuck on him, and it prevents him from flying.
Yeah, it covers his wings.
They're really screwed.
This episode is so absolutely cartoonish and cartoony. We've got the Pokemon start apologizing to Team Rocket for breaking their satellite dish. Yeah, they're bowing. Does Poplio do the same thing in English where he's like just sounds like a seal going or?
Yeah. It's not as deep as that, but yeah.
And this is what I was talking about earlier, where Jesse says, "Oh, it's the Bratz Pokes and also the Blue Girls Pokes. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's capture these Pokemon, and then we'll trade Ash and Lana, I guess, for the Pikachu." So they start up a battle, and then these two Pokes run off into the distance away from Team Rocket. Mimikyu, I guess, stays behind. I remember Mimikyu just turns its head a little bit while they run off. Because later in the episode, Mimikyu isn't there, right?
Yeah, I don't remember Mimikyu.
So then we cut to back to the kids. Lana's confident that they're going to find them because I think Mallow is asking, has this ever happened before? And Lana's like, it'll be fun. Yeah, like Geese mentioned, Rowlet has this, what would you even call it, Geese?
It's like a ring,
a ring. It's weird. I know he's been trying to get it off. The Pokes have been trying to help get it off, but to no avail. Beware grabs Team Rocket, I guess, before they can even catch up with the Pokes. That sound right?
Yeah.
And there's a real cute little montage at this point of Rowlet and Poplio just getting into hijinks, falling and hopping and whatnot. Meowth and Marini catch up to them, and they try to start battling. But Geese, who comes in to save the day?
It's Litten.
Your boy and mine.
Also, since Rowlet can't fly, like the way that Poplio is just bouncing Rowlet on his nose like a little circus seal, it's so cute.
It's adorable because Rowlet fits in Poplio's little water bubbles so easily. He can just bounce Rowlet on his little nose.
It's adorable.
So Litten's ready to protect the Pokemon, and they do a cool samurai battle thing between Meowth and Litten because they're both little kitty cats. Litten destroys Meowth, by the way, so you don't have to worry about it. Litten knows what's up. He also tries to bite at Rowlet's thing that's on his neck and wings to try and get him out of it, to no avail once again. And then Poplio puts Rowlet back in the bubble. And then the three Alolan starters walk into the distance, which makes the Japanese title make sense, but not the English. Litten ends up leading them back to Stoutland. You Clambos remember Stoutland from a few episodes back. He is no longer living in that house, but now he's just living under the bridge.
Yeah, and he likes to hang out on this couch, and what I would like to know is, how did they move that couch there?
Wait, it's the same couch?
It's the same couch.
Maybe he's got some other friends. I don't know. I mean, Stoutland's pretty strong. I guess he could have.
But this is an old Stoutland.
Dragged it or something. I don't know. They have a flashback showing what happened in the episode where they've met before. Rowlet's just snoozing in the bubble. And then something wakes up Rowlet. He ends up getting really nervous around Stoutland. But then Stoutland licks Rowlet. And then Litten starts licking himself. It's all lick fest at this point in the episode. So Rowlet can't fly with the thing around him, as we've covered several times. They're trying to explain that to Stoutland. And I think Stoutland says, well, why don't you get Ash's help? Or does he say Litten should join Ash? They're not speaking in language, so this is kind of hard to glean what's actually happening.
I implied it as Litten should guide them back to Ash.
Oh, okay. I have written down here, Poplio likes the ECA. What is an ECA, Geese?
The idea?
Oh, the idea. God, Geese, you're genius with my handwriting. Okay. So we cut back to the kids. They're looking everywhere for their Pokemon around the market. They asked everyone. And Rotom says, wait a minute, I got a great idea. Rockruff can just sniff them out. He's got a great sniffer. So Rockruff sniffs Ash's backpack so he can learn what Rowlet smells like. And then he smells Lana's hands so he can smell what Poplio smells like. Rockruff can do it, and his tail wags, and we cut to sleeping Beware. Now Team Rocket quietly sneaks away from Beware now that he's fallen asleep, so they can go capture those starters, who are walking around. I guess they're in the city. They're still in that town area. And then Rockruff's following the trail, and we cut to another montage. The starters are just playing with these girls on on a bench. And then it's like sunset. Starting to get late. And they just miss each other, Geese. We see a shot where like the starter's in the background and the kids are walking past them. And when that happens, Team Rocket shows up and they get the starters in a net, which is what they every single time with their little nets. And when that happens, Geese, Rockruff sniffs them out. Team Rocket puts the starters in a cage, but they're very surprised by Litten there because Litten wasn't there earlier. Rowlet is sleeping, as you can imagine. Litten uses Ember on Team Rocket, and Poplio is very impressed. It's at this point that Meowth remembers the Litten because that Litten had stolen food from them before.
And then Litten, like, tells his life story to the Pokemon, and all the Pokemon start crying, including Meowth. And Meowth is, like, determined to get Litten to join Team Rocket, and there's some good faces.
It's very good faces. I also thought it was funny how emotional these Team Rocket Pokemon are. It goes back to the whole thing from the very first couple seasons of the Pokemon animated series where they were like, Pokemon aren't evil, only the trainers are. Because, yeah, they're like, oh my God, Litten, you have such a big giant heart. You're so selfless. You'll put anybody before yourself. And Team Rocket also really wants Litten to join Team Rocket. And what does Litten say he's going to do? As all the Pokemon are like,
he says he's going to do it.
Poplio can't believe it. So, since Litten says he's going to do it, they start to open the cage, Geese. But then what happens?
Litten breaks the net because they're also still in the net and lets Poplio and Rowlet free and then fights Team Rocket, right?
Correct. It was all just a ploy. And so then the starters all attack Team Rocket. And then, unbelievably, Team Rocket is blasting off again for the very first time in Alola. Because every time in Alola, Beware just shows up and grabs him. But this is just like the old episodes where a big giant attack hits him and they just burst off into the air like a rocket.
Also, I think this is like the third time there's been a Team Rocket confrontation on a roof. And specifically this roof.
Yep, I wrote that down, Geese, because I'm pretty sure they just used the same animation from when they were at the mall. The kids just bursting through the door on the roof. Geese, what do they say in English? Because I don't think they say this in English, but as Team Rocket's blasting off in Japanese, they just say, this sucks.
I don't remember. I know it's like something different.
Anyway, yeah, the kids burst through the door like always. They're always allowed to just get to these rooftop stairwells, and they see their Pokemon up on the roof. Everybody's so happy to see the Pokes. Ash immediately just pulls off Rowlet's little neck brace ring thing. O-ring that's stopping him from flying. Ash thanks Litten for saving him, and Ash asks Litten, hey, how's Stoutland doing? And then Litten just looks dramatically at Ash with the sun setting behind him and just sprints off and jumps to the other buildings off in the distance to live his own loner life.
I read that as like when Ash asks how Stoutland is doing, he's like, oh yeah, I gotta go check on him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I read it as he's still trying to be real independent, doesn't want to get close to Ash or something. We cut to Team Rocket. They're flying through the air, and then they land immediately into Beware's arms at their secret base. So, still in the end, Beware still kind of grabbed them. Worked out.
I have here in my notes that Beware is like a chaotic neutral Totoro.
Oh, yeah. Checks out.
Totoro
I can see
energy. That. Totoro. Good movie.
And that's the end of the episode, Geese. There's not even a stinger, which is odd.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. There was just an ad for that year's Pokemon movie. That year's Pokemon movie was just a retelling of the first, how many episodes was it? First couple episodes of the anime, they just turned into a movie. It was okay.
Speaking of Pokemon movies, write in if you think we should do a collaboration with Response Message and watch a Pokemon movie.
And no matter what you say, we're still going to do it. So,
yep. And then also tweet at Professor_Tickle_Bits and say #Justice for Rowlet, #Boomer, and then #Pokemon movie, please.
Hashtag big boomer energy. Hashtag if you don't do a Pokemon movie podcast, you're old.
Exactly. That's what gets him.
That'll get him. Actually, I think that movie was the movie that on social media became a big old thing because
Pikachu talks.
Pikachu just speaking English to Ash, and everybody was like, "What is this?" And just people in the theater recording and going wild.
That's wild. That is wild. Why would they do that?
It was silly. It's like he wasn't really speaking. I don't even remember. It's been so long.
Okay. So let's move on to episode 17, which in English is Crystal Clear Sleuthing.
Oh, this is a good one if it's the one I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, I was excited for you to see this episode.
Oh my God, it's so good.
And this is, I'll say it, it's not the last we'll see of Alolan Detector Rotom Dex.
Detector.
Oh, shut up. It's the cold medicine in the beer.
The cold medicine. Geese isn't even conscious. It was, yeah, Geese, start talking about this episode. Well, I'll tell you what the Poke problem of the day is, because you probably didn't get that. Poke problem of the day. Where does Rotom not go? I'll spoil it for you now. He doesn't go to the mall. But, Geese, please tell us about the opening of episode 17. Quite possibly one of the sickest episodes we've seen yet.
So we're at Professor Kukui, Professor Zaddy's house. We see a bowl of popcorn, and then we zoom in, we see the TV. Wait, no?
No, I went for the popcorn.
Oh,
like a delicious not a
tasty. So it's Ash, Professor Kukui, and Rotom all watching this show on the TV, and it's a detective show, and they're just watching it. Professor Kukui and Rotom are like so into it, and Ash is just like, it's fine. The show is called Alolan Detective Loki. That's what it's in English. What's it in Japanese?
Rocky, which R-A-K-I. Well, it makes sense because in Japanese there's not a distinction between R and L. So they just kind of choose.
So yeah, they're watching, and then the detective on the show is about to reveal who did it in this episode, like who stole this crystal.
Yeah, it was like some jewel. I thought it was a diamond, but in the episode, I think they call it a jewel of. It's a beautiful, expensive diamond called the Princess's Tear, I think.
Yes, and like Rotom is on the edge of his proverbial seat,
and he's wearing the little wig, just like
he got it. Professor Kukui bought him a Alolan Detective Loki dress-up kit, and so he's wearing this blonde wig. It's so
cute. He's got his little sunglasses. I don't think he's wearing them in this scene, but God, it's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
So they reveal who did it, and Rotom and Professor Kukui was like, "What?
Should we tell the Clambos who did it?"
Yeah, go for it. You do it.
It was the doctor the whole time. He switched out the Sableye dolls, Geese.
And Rotom like turns around, is like, Ash, can you believe it? And Ash is asleep with the rest of his little Pokemon.
He's very cute.
All right, Gyra, why don't you take it from here?
Rotom cannot believe that Ash fell asleep during this gripping program. Rotom.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry to interrupt. But okay, so Ash falls asleep, and when they see that, like Professor Kukui like wakes him up on the couch and is like, if you doze off, you're gonna be really sore tomorrow. And that's just another example of like how Professor Kukui's a zaddy taking care of Ash.
Geese is just playing with her hair, talking about Kukui. Yeah, he's very concerned about Ash not being in pain. So move over to your sleeping couch and not the popcorn eating couch.
Yeah.
Rotom loves the deduction in the detective show. It was a very cool deduction show. Like the episode opened with it, so I was very confused. You should have seen me trying to write notes as it opened with all these characters I've never seen.
Right, because
like,
opens.
Oh god. All these.
Yeah,
people.
It opens like you don't see like that it's a TV show until
that's not revealed for a little bit that they're watching a TV show. So yeah, Ash goes back to sleep. At some point, Rotom is talking like, don't you want to know who did it? Don't you want to know who did it? And Ash is like, yeah, you can tell me tomorrow. It's fine. And then they move that, like, something happens with Rotom's wig and it's moved to a different spot. And they're like back and forth. We cut to the school the next day and we see Ash just going wild looking through his desk because he can't find, in Japanese, Denki Z. In English, Geese?
Electrium Z.
Electrium Z.
His Z crystal.
He's got his Normalium Z, and he's got his little bangle, his little Z crystal goofball connector. But he can't find Electrium Z, which is a very important crystal. That's how you use electric Z moves. Ash is terrified that he's going to get in trouble from Tapu Koko and Kiawe. And we get the anime, like Geese said, the animation on these couple episodes out of control. Because we get these, like, fantasies of Kiawe losing his mind, turning Super Saiyan level 10, attacking Ash because he lost the crystal. How could he do this? And Sophocles says Ash's life is over. But Rotom hears about this, Geese. And because Rotom is such a detective and he loves logic and deduction, he's on the case, and he's thrilled that something has gone missing because he's gonna solve the case. He's gonna figure it out. And Pikachu's gonna be his assistant. They're a very cute little duo. I even, in the middle of watching this, I had to message Geese and say they're the cutest little team I've ever seen. They go to tell Kukui what happened, and Kukui remembers that, well, Ash was practicing with Rowlet with the Normalium Z, so maybe they lost it when they were going in the schoolyard. Maybe when they were practicing, maybe he dropped it. Rotom goes and asks Komala, the little koala Pokemon. Komala was sleeping. He didn't know anything. And Pikachu keeps playing with Rotom's wig. He's pulling at it like a little kid, and Rotom keeps getting annoyed at Pikachu. And in Japanese, he was like, what does he say? He's like, stop it, you stupid mouse. It's very funny.
I don't know what he said in English.
But they're looking everywhere for this Electrium Z. They're like digging through the dirt. They dig up this Alolan Diglett, and that didn't turn out too well for them. They get like, as Alolan Diglett comes out of the ground, they get blasted off. They go to, when I say they, I'm talking about Rotom, Detective Rotom and Assistant Pikachu still. They go and ask Samson Oak, the principal, about it. And Samson Oak's going on about, oh man, I'm going to win Pancake Fest again next year too.
Yeah, it's nice that they had that little continuity in the episode.
Yeah, I watching this episode, I was thinking, man, this is kind of more serialized because we had the flashback in the last episode, and then this episode, it's a follow-up from the pancake incident because they said there was video taken, there was a cameraman there doing interviews about the winner of the pancake race. So that means there's video evidence of what was going on over there. And Rotom's like, oh, sick. We can just find this video. We can look it up and we'll find exactly what happened to the Electrium Z. So then we cut to the kids in the school, in the classroom. And Kiawe asks, hey, Ash, where's Pikachu? And then we go down this line, which I don't like. I mean, I know TV shows have to do this all the time. But Ash just straight lies to Kiawe, and he gets like the other kids to back him up on this, just so he doesn't get in trouble and doesn't admit that the Electrium Z is missing. I just am not crazy about Ash just telling a bunch of lies.
He's better than that.
Yeah, he's better than that. Then we cut back to Rotom and Pikachu. They made it all the way to the Alolan TV station so they can get that footage. And then Rotom just goes straight through the entrance. But the security guard sees Pikachu, and it looks like he's going to be real upset at Pikachu. But no, he just thinks Pikachu's the most adorable thing on Earth.
He's a big fan.
And Pikachu's just trying to get into the TV station, but he can't get the doors open. And the security guard's like, hey, you got to get your trainer. Pokemon can't go in here just by their lonesome. You go get your trainer, you cute little guy. Where's your trainer?
So it's just Rotom inside.
Yeah, Rotom's not even paying any attention. He's flying through the TV station, still talking to Pikachu. He doesn't even realize Pikachu's not with him. And he bumps into a janitor woman and asks her, about the pancake race being filmed, and she's like, well, that cameraman over there, that's the person who filmed it, so you may want to ask him. Oh my God, Geese. Geese.
What?
The cameraman has the sickest Ghastly shirt I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, I saw that. But wait, before that, so the cleaning lady, like, I think she sees the wig and she's like, are you a fan of Alolan Detective Lockie?
That's
and
true.
he's like, yeah, I am. And she's like, I am too. And then they're like, since we're both fans, we're now friends. And then they high five, and it's so cute.
I love the high five. Rotom's little hand. They're best
like,
friends.
Now we're friends. Cute.
Little Rotom is something else. He's the cutest little God.
I really want to get a Rotom sitting cutie plushie.
That's a good idea.
I might do it.
Just might do it. So it turns out Rotom's super sick. He doesn't even need to, because at first the cameraman's like, well, it's not even edited and I gotta go. But Rotom's like, oh, no problem. I'm a Rotom Dex. I can literally just put my hand up against this video camera and I'll just download all the footage and I can scrub through it.
So we are revealed that Rotom has that ability. New ability.
New ability unlocked. So Rotom reviews the footage and we cut back to the kids at the school. At some point, Kukui is like, everybody go outside. We're going to have some practical practice for school lessons today. And we see Poplio making some more big balloons, and Snowy jumps in. That's Lily's Alolan Vulpix, of course. And Snowy's bouncing on Poplio's nose. Ash has Rockruff sniff around everywhere looking for that Z crystal. Kiawe is very suspicious that the lies keep adding up from Ash. The other kids still trying to back him up, but Kiawe does not buy it. And then out of nowhere, Pikachu and Rotom show up. And that's when Ash accidentally spills the beans, because I think he just directly asked them, did you find the Electrium Z? Kiawe loses it, Geese.
He really does.
He's about to murder Ash with a big old giant Turtonator attack with the best art I've ever seen. Although in the background, you just see Turtonator like slowly walk
running.
back and forth. It's very cute.
Trying to catch up with them.
It's so cute. So right as Kiawe is about to use a Z move on Ash for losing the Electrium Z, Rotom interrupts. And he's like, everybody, get to the classroom. We have evidence. We've got proof. And they all run to the classroom. And he plays back the footage. And he says, the culprit is... Who is it, Geese? Or who does Rotom say it is?
Ash.
No.
Oh, wait. Kiawe.
Ding, 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 ding.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember. That cold medicine's starting to hit me.
So what is Rotom's theory for how Kiawe stole the Electrium Z?
So he analyzes the footage that he got from the TV station guy, and he deducts that when Ash and Kiawe like went to shake hands after like practicing with like the Normalium Z, like battling with that like the Electrium Z somehow got into like Kiawe's hand. I think that was what the theory was. That was the only plausible explanation.
Yeah, and Kiawe immediately says that's absolutely absurd, because you would notice handing off a crystal, either party, either Ash or Kiawe. So they say, sorry, Rotom, you're out of line. But then Lily, it's like, wait a minute, could you back up that footage a little bit? And so they're like, backing up. No, right there. Nope, a little bit forward. Nope, back a little bit. And eventually Lily goes to, or points out a point in the footage where Ash puts something in his pocket. And then, Geese, does Ash say something like, oh, it must have been in my pocket when I went to sleep on the couch during the show?
Yeah, and then he remembers that when he went up after Professor Kukui told him to like sleep in his actual bed, he put the Electrium Z like on a bedside table.
Right.
And then what happened was that Rotom took his wig off and it somehow got caught in the wig. And then Pikachu, like this is the present day, goes in Rotom's wig and pulls out the Electrium Z.
So it was Rotom the whole time. Rotom is very disappointed in himself that he was the culprit the whole time. And then Kiawe chases Rotom, and he's going to kill Rotom. Sophocles once again says, Rotom's life is over. We cut back to Kukui's house, and Rotom edited a cool training video for Kiawe, maybe as an apology. I don't know. Is this a stinger, or did you see this?
This is a stinger.
Okay. He can make a video. He's a video camera now. They make that real clear. And he's like filming Kukui, and Kukui's asking, are you making a documentary? And then Rotom says something about, you need manners to film. I'm not filming right now. And then that's the end of the episode. Should have made it more clear when it's a stinger, but it's not super clear in my notes. Normally I write stinger, but this was so quick. Okay, listen. Look, this episode was incredible. I really recommend watching this. Even if you're not watching the show, if you're just listening to this, it's such a cute episode. It's way better than what just talking about it could possibly describe. Geese, I'm so thirsty, and I need to use the restroom so bad. So before the next episode, it's time for a little break.
Time for a break.
It's break time.
Take up and get some more water. I am locked. My eyes are locked with a squirrel right now. We're just staring each other down.
With a squirrel?
Yeah. What's a black squirrel? Interesting. I didn't know they had them.
Probably a gray squirrel, and we're back from the break. Geese, have you ever had recording Twizzlers, or are you one of those people that says Twizzlers gross?
I'm neutral about Twizzlers. I never crave them or actively seek them out, but I'll eat one or two.
Okay, Geese. Oh yeah, people gonna love this.
Yeah, I was gonna say that doesn't seem like the best food to eat.
If you don't have grapes, cherry pull and peel Twizzlers is the way to go.
Okay, Guyer, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is the episode I paid attention the least to.
Geese, no!
It's okay. We don't have to be that detailed about the episodes. We can just give the general gist.
Here, why don't you start talking about the episode, and I'm going to tell you what you missed. I'm eating my Twizzlers.
Oh, boy, that's a lot. Okay. So, first off, episode 19 in the English version is called A Season Search.
And episode 19?
Wait, 16, 17. Oh, you're right. It's 18. I did math. Oh, wait. I hope I watched the right episode. Oh, yeah. No, wait. No, it is 18. I just did math wrong. Episode 18. Okay. It's called A Season Search. And then the translated of the Japanese title is Really? Mao's Great Culinary Plan.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying really? Is that what the title is? Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Geese.
No, I'm saying yeah, yeah. Okay. So the episode starts off in Mallow's family restaurant.
The cafeteria.
Mallow invited the kids to her restaurant to taste a new dish that she's working on.
The mythical Alolan stew, Geese?
Yes. And they're all hungry. And before she's done, she's like, Pikachu, can you help me with something? And so Pikachu goes in the back. And then the kids are talking. And then we just see bolt of lightning
from the kitchen.
Yeah, from the kitchen, and they're like, "What was that?" And then she comes out with the soup, and I think she's slightly burned from the bolt.
Slightly, she's destroyed. She's covered in
I can't
electrical destruction.
Anyway, she dishes out the soup, and the kids eat it, and they're like, "This is interesting." But Sophocles loves it. He wants more of it, you know.
Yeah, the soup shocks everyone. Geese,
yeah, and
the Twizzlers were a mistake.
Yep. And they're like, what is a soup even supposed to be? And she's like, it's a special Alolan stew. And she is explaining that her brother found this old manuscript and copied the recipe and sent it to her. And she wants to make it for the restaurant. But the only thing is, the secret ingredient is yellow nectar, but yellow nectar isn't in season, as Lily explains to us. And she was like, yeah, so I was hoping to use Pikachu's Thunderbolt to give it to replace it, but I guess it was too much.
They don't call it saffron in English?
No.
Interesting.
And then so her father overhears it and comes out and says, there is a place where supposedly yellow nectar's in season all the time. And she's like, really? So now she wants to find it, and Ash He's like, we'll find it. So they go on a venture, right? I don't know. Did I miss something?
Those were the major story beats, yeah. Just little cute things I wanted to add. Bone Sweet was adorable, serving little glasses of water to everyone.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
Like Geese mentioned, Sophocles was the only one who was like, actually, can I get some more of that shock soup? Because everybody else was, didn't want anything to do with it.
It makes sense because Sophocles is a lightning trainer.
That's true. But yeah, Mallow's dad was like, look, I'll make everybody a replacement dish. It's going to be okay. So the kids do get another meal after the fact. At some point, like it turns evening, like they stay there until evening time. Is that what you missed? At some point, like all the kids left except for Ash.
Yeah.
Because it was evening and they ate another meal. And that's when they talked about going and hunting for the saffron colored nectar.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the episode, they made the recipe sound like it was incredibly like some long lost ancient text that the brother had to like climb the Himalayan mountains to find or something like that. But yeah, they said that nectar is only available certain times of the year unless, and then I guess at some point they talk about the Oricorios that can somehow find it. We cut to Team Rocket, Geese, and the secret base is finally finished. And now they're excited to focus on the mission. They've actually turned that tree into quite the secret base. It's very fancy. Yeah. They've got giant screens everywhere, and it looks very sick.
I like how they say they're like, we're finished. And then you see like zoom out to like the exterior of the tree. And then you just hear Jesse being like, but we can start tomorrow.
Yeah, they're way too sleepy to do it today.
You know what? Big mood. Big mood.
Their big mission is still steal Pikachu. Now we cut back to Mallow and Ash hunting for that saffron nectar, or they just call it yellow nectar in English.
Yeah, they call it yellow nectar.
So they're going to hunt for the yellow nectar. Rotom says, we got to find those yellow Oricorios because they know exactly where the nectar is. And they only got an 8% chance of finding it. So they're looking around everywhere. They're looking in trees, and they see a bunch of berries. They're talking to Trumbeaks.
And they get scared by Zubats.
Yeah, well, they go into a cave with a bunch of Golbats, and they freak out and run out. But yeah, I think there is a scene where Rowlet goes back to his old family of the Pikipeks and the Trumbeaks and asks them if they know anything about it.
Cute.
Doesn't sound like they do. They end up searching for hours and hours, and Rotom finds this quest exceedingly more unlikely to succeed. But Mallow believes in them, and she's saying everything rides on this, the future of the cafeteria.
She explains that it's her dream for her family's restaurant to be like the number one place in Alola, and that they're going to have a signature dish.
Right. And she's like, Ash, since you're helping me, you'll get to try it first. And Geese, during this, who is in a bush, like every single episode, in this magical forest, who's eavesdropping in the bush?
Tapu Koko? Because I was going to say I don't remember Tapu Koko, but is it Team Rocket? I thought it was Team Rocket.
It's Team Rocket.
Well, to be fair, Tapu Koko also does that.
Yeah, he does it a lot too, but no, he's not.
I was like, did I miss that? I don't remember that.
It was a 50-50 chance, Geese. You tried.
Yeah.
You almost got it. But yeah, they're like, wait, what's this about some crazy fancy stew that's going to make us millions of dollars or something? What's this about yellow nectar? Incredibly rare? Incredibly valuable? What's this?
They're like, why find it when we can just steal it from them?
Great idea from Team Rocket.
And then after Mallow explains like her dreams or whatever, I think Bounsweet sneezes again and releases the sweet scent, and then Rowlet, tries to eat Bounsweet.
I don't know what Rowlet's doing. I mean, I think Rowlet's really into Bounsweet or something, but yeah, the sweet scent attracts Pokemon, so every time that sweet scent comes out, Rowlet can't help but keep flying into her.
And then, I don't know if it's Mallow or Ash, they're like, oh, that's it. Just make Bounsweet do sweet scent, and it'll attract all the birds.
Yeah, might work on Oricorio. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
So they get Bounsweet up on like the tallest rock they can find, and Bounsweet goes to town with the sweet smell to spread it further by being up taller. Rowlet certainly can't resist, and we start seeing the birds come in. We see some Leddyba, we see some Pelipper, some Wingull, some Murkrow, some Trumbeaks, a Butterfree, not really a bird, but it's got wings, Pikipeks, And there's no Oricorio yet. And then Pelipper eats Rowlet, which is fun. I don't think he actually digests them, just puts them in his little mouth. Wait,
cute.
Now an Oricorio shows up. Oricorio goes right up to Bounsweet, right up.
And they talk, and like I think Bounsweet explains like, isn't that implied?
I thought Oricorio just bit her little leaf on her head.
Oh.
Neither of us were really watching this episode, so who's to say?
Who's to say?
So right after Oricorio maybe talks, maybe does not talk, but certainly bites the leaf, it starts to fly off, and the kids start chasing it. And Bounsweet brings it back to them with Sweet Scent, and the kids go to chase, and they do this back and forth where Bounsweet runs out of Sweet Scent, and then it starts flying away and comes back and flies back and comes back, and the kids run. And I wasn't into this gag because, like, all I could think was, oh, you're just trying to save money and time, because they just replay the same scene over and over and over again, speeding it up each time. So maybe to a kid it would be funny. I don't know. I can't get too upset. I mean, God, the animation's been so good the last couple episodes, but kind of silly. Eventually, poor Bounsweet completely runs out of Sweet Scent, and she looks completely shriveled up.
Looks dead.
Destroyed. But luckily, it's around that point when Oricorio flies through this cave with... Geese, would you consider that a river, or is that too small to be a river? Is that like a creek?
There's creek.
Like water running through a cave. So they follow the Oricorio through this cave, and it ends in a field of yellow nectar flowers.
Yeah,
Thank
goodness. And they're like, yay! And then, of course...
Then there's a flame Oricorio, too, there. The red one?
The ballet?
The flamenco.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget the ones.
And they're like, ooh, look at that one.
And then we see it eat some yellow nectar and turn into the pom-pom style Oricorio. And Rotom explains that depending on the nectar, Oricorio has a different variation, I guess, or...
Yeah, different forms. No. Different forms.
Form is what the word I was looking for.
But yeah, it goes through a very cool transformation sequences. The kids think it's all sick. And Geese, they start to approach the flower fields, and everything's going great. But then what happens, Geese?
Team Rocket comes onto the scene. There's a net involved, but I don't remember who is in the net.
Dag nabbit, the net happens just like every episode with Team Rocket. They're captured by the net. I just wrote they. So as far as who all is in the net, maybe the notes will tell me later on. We're going to find out.
And then Meowth starts vacuuming up the flowers for the nectar.
He's got the weirdest purple vacuum jetpack invention I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, wait. Okay. It was just a Pokemon, I think.
Just the pokes? Okay.
Or just the Oricorios, maybe? Because I think Ash and Mallow run over when they see that. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter too much who's in the net, but we got to get whoever's out of the net, in the net, out of the net is what we need to know. We know Meowth's got this crazy vacuum, and I guess Mallow tells Bounsweet to attack Meowth, I think, because Bounsweet runs up to Team Rocket. James tosses Bounsweet out of the way, and then Bounsweet goes towards Meowth with the sweet smell. So Meowth starts smelling that smell, and he's gonna stop.
Once that happens in English, Meowth says everything is beautiful.
Everything is beautiful. I don't remember what he says in Japanese, but that's pretty good. I think James talks him out of it. Jesse or James, or a combination of the two, try to talk Meowth out of the sweet scent hypnotization. What is the word, Geese? Hypnotization? Hypnosis?
Yeah. Hypnosis.
Let's go with hypnosis. So Bounsweet goes to attack, and Bounsweet's not doing any good. So what does Bounsweet do, Geese?
Bounsweet evolves into... No? Wait, what?
Yes, that's exactly what happens. I was saying, my God.
Evolves into... What's the name?
Steenie,
right. Steenie.
Yeah, Bounsweet evolves into Steenie. Steenie evolves into Serena.
This is the first of the kids' Pokemon to evolve.
That I can think of, for sure.
And so Steenie uses her leaf pigtails to slap Team Rocket, and they have these big cheeks from the slaps.
They got big, rosy red cheeks.
But where Yeats grabs them and eats them.
Well, and first, Steenie cuts open the net with her leaf attack.
Yes.
She slapping Team Rocket around. Then Pikachu goes to use a Thunderbolt, but right as the Thunderbolt's about to hit Team Rocket, then Geese.
Then Beware gets some.
Yes.
And when they're getting yeeted, I think Jessie says, like, we're off with the cheeky blast because their cheeks are big from the slaps.
Checks out.
It's good.
Beware's so nice, protecting them from the attack.
Yeah.
Then Mallow collects all the nectar, and we cut to the cafeteria, and we got yes, Geese.
It said, sorry, this is the correction.
If you say sorry, I'm going to cut it out.
Okay. So you guys don't have to at Professor Ticklebits on Twitter. They say, we're off with a chubby cheek blast.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to rewatch the episode to see what they say in Japanese. I don't even know if they made a pun or not. Maybe they did. Geese, I have a sneeze. Just like
go for it.
Like
I bless you.
Gesundheit for me.
Okay, we cut back to the restaurant. Mallow, since she has the yellow nectar, can finally make the soup proper, and Steenie helps carry it out and give it to all the kids.
All the kids are there.
And they start eating, and they all love it. And, what's her name?
It's got a tingly aftertaste instead of a shocking aftertaste.
Yes. Lily's like, we love seasonal food. And Mallow explains that, like, because most yellow nectar is still seasonal, it won't be the signature dish, but she's still dedicated to find a signature dish for the restaurant. That is her goal.
Right. And she tells the kids there's going to be a lot more tastings to come, so get excited for that. And of course, Sophocles is still starving and wants more food.
And you know what? Big mood.
The kids are very excited about the prospect of the more dishes to come. And then we see Rowlet flying towards Steenie. And Steenie doesn't even mean to do this, but she accidentally turns her head and like smacks Rowlet in the face. Does he get the rosy chubby cheeks again?
Yes.
Or not again, because I don't think he had chubby cheeks before, just Team Rocket. God, that's the end of the episode. Good Lord. These end of episodes just really jump at you real quick.
Was that a fly? Is there a fly in your apartment?
Why?
You just went like that.
I was just saying the ends come so quick.
Oh, okay. I thought you were swatting after a fly.
No swatting flies.
Okay.
The stinger of this episode 18, is Mallow's just cleaning the cafe, and then Steenie's helping out, and then hops on her back. And that is the entire stinger. I don't get the point of the stinger.
Yeah.
They're like 3 seconds. I don't understand. I've had to blow my nose so much.
Well, he's blowing your nose. He's blowing his own nose.
What?
I don't know. I'm tired of the cold medicine. Let's wrap up. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Just a reminder, on all social media, please follow us. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube.
Geese is in a hurry to get out.
No, I'm not. I'm just wrapping up. I'm getting to the process. End of the episode.
She's like, all right, wrap up, look, listen, cast.
So it's at Look, Listen, Cast, all one word. So follow us there. And then we like to thank you again, Keith Squared, for our artwork. Thank you, RDFine and RAWKPARTEE, for your support. And if you want to give us support, please go to looklistencast.com and click the anchor.
Looklistencast.com and please for once a month or more, go to onlygeese.cash and give money, please, for me, for you, for everyone here. Have a great time. Delicious, everyone, wonderful.
Yes. Also, we're almost at 50 listeners. So if you have any friends who are interested in Pokemon or interested in 2 sassy debutantes with clammy hands talk about Pokemon, recommend this podcast. Maybe.
Well, I don't even need you to listen to all of it. We need 60 seconds to get to 50 people. Please, for the love of God, please.
And we can get money.
I know when you guys listen to response messages, you love little Aaron saying, look, friends, have you been thinking about making a podcast?
He's going to re-record that.
That could be Geese and Michael. I mean, Guyera. We just need 3 people or something, or 7 people. Or something.
Oh my gosh, we almost forgot. We have a question today.
I didn't forget. I was going to say it. Don't you worry. Don't
okay,
RAWKPARTEE.
Please. Please.
I was not going to forget you. So I love how we say their names or their screen names, but on response messages, they just give them their full names. No, not a care in the world. Okay. That's fine.
All right. Read it to me.
Oh, God. I got to pull it up. All right.
I don't have it.
Pulling up Rock Party's question.
It's question time.
Question time. I was about to read that email I sent you. I can't read that out loud. All right. Question time with On Look Listen with Geese and Guyera. Another question came today. Thank you, Rock Party. We are going to continue recording podcasts only because you sent a question. Because my threat last episode was, if you don't send questions, I'm never recording again. Question That's for the podcast from Rock Party. Hey, Rock Party here. Longtime listener, first-time email author. I was wondering what the two of you thought of the difference in the Pokemon cries between the game and the anime. Which do you prefer? Also, what's your favorite Pokemon cry?
What a great question.
For the question.
Personally, I like the anime cries more because in the games it just sounds like weird electric like screeching. They're just like
in the Game Boy couldn't do too much, Geese. Give it a break.
I know, but even now, they even the newer ones that has that screeching. You know,
I think some cries sound really sick. The funny thing, Geese and Rock Party, is that for a hot minute there, like last generation, and maybe a couple games before that, a couple Pokemon that gave them the anime cry because they were so popular. Like if you play Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, Pikachu doesn't go click, 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 click. He goes Pika, and Eevee goes instead of
that's cute
or whatever. But they stopped that in the new games because it was pretty silly that you have two Pokemon that sound like anime and everybody else sounds like a video game.
So to answer the second part of the question, here are some of my favorite Pokemon voices from the anime. So and this is all based on memory from watching the original series, but I remember Goldeen is like Goldeen. And then Psyduck Psy. And then Gloom is like gloom.
They're awesome.
What else? I'm trying to think of what else.
Diglett, trio.
I also really like the Oricorios. It's like Oricorio.
We're just gonna do Pokemon cries for 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Bulbasaur.
Pika Pika. Pika Pika.
Bugga.
What else? I bet this is really good for audio.
It's me, Mewtwo. Yeah, they're having a great time.
What else? There's another one I remember, but I can't remember.
So Geese prefers anime. I prefer the game cries, but I can't argue that it works better for an anime for them to say words. Like you can do way more with emoting that way. My favorite game cry is Cricketune because he's got the best. It goes Skidlly. It's the greatest cry of all time. It's so good.
Can someone please edit what Guyera just said and make that into a scat song, please?
So good.
Oh my god. Okay, I think my actual favorite. Okay, what was that?
It's Jigglypuff singing Lullaby.
Oh right, duh. I think my actual favorite, just because of nostalgia for the original show, is probably Magikarp. It's like Magikarp, carp. Magikarp. Good times. I think we answered all of it.
Geese, I would love to keep talking and keep the Clan Bows entertained. I'm about to explode. I got to go to the bathroom so bad.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening. Kiss.
RDFine and Rock Party for your support.
All right, that's it.
God, goodbye.
Just go, Guyera. Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
GEESE Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. GEESE Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company